This is the full guide to becoming the main character. First of all, I respect you. You chose a video on how to improve your life instead of watching porn, instead of watching a short and entertaining video, or watching NPC streamers. If you don't know what these guys are, they will literally live stream themselves as an NPC character, like if they were in a TV show or a video game. And these guys will get like 100,000 viewers donating to them just to get these guys to like make the NPC lines like, "Oh, you're going to the village." That is the video, and 100,000 people will enjoy that. So respect to you for improving your life and not watching this brain dead content. So why become the main character? You clicked on this video and maybe you have some inkling about wanting to become more like this character, becoming the main person in the life, in control of everything. I personally grew up watching a lot of anime, and I really, really resonated with the main character in these different shows. Things like Demon Slayer, things like Naruto, Bleach, those types of shows. And the main character, he always won. He always pushed past his discomfort, and he's able to beat the villain in the story. He would always be the leader of his friends and family. He would be that role model, and he was respected by everyone, including the woman, and he would get the girl at the end of the story. That's usually how the character archetype works. That's usually how the arcs of these different stories work. The character beats the villain and he gets the girl. And I've always been very interested and mesmerized by this type of thing. And if you're anything like me, I believe that you have too. So what will you lose if you don't become the main character? So you're going to live with the regret of not seeing your potential. If you don't become the main character, if you don't take control, if you don't push past discomfort, you will live with regret and you will not be able to see your potential. I watched this David Goggins interview on Joe Rogan, and he always described this type of personal hell, where he said the worst possible thing he could experience is going to the end of his life, going to the gates of heaven, and right next to him, seeing what he could have been, seeing the other version of David Goggins right next to him, meeting that guy who was his potential, who was the guy who pushed past his discomfort, who was the guy who actually reached his potential. And he said that was hell for him. And so he pushes himself so much because he doesn't want to ever meet that person. He just wants to be that person. The other thing that you will lose if you don't become the main character is that you won't become the role model that your friends and family need you to be. I don't hear this type of reasoning online a lot in other self-improvement YouTubers, but it's extremely important that you reach your own potential so that you can lead your friends and family towards that reality. It's very hard to teach people. It's very hard to just tell your friends and family, "Oh, do this self-improvement habit, do this, and you will reach this result." It's a lot more powerful to become the person, to become the role model, and then they can emulate you based on the actions you're taking, based on the results that you're getting in your own life. And finally, your future wife and kids will suffer if you don't become your potential starting today. If you don't start working on yourself, if you don't push past the discomfort, your future family will suffer. Really think about that. Really see if that resonates, because it is very important that you can take these first steps today. So what will this video give you in terms of reaching your potential? What value could I possibly give you? So first, I'm going to give you a frame that you must adopt. This is very important if you want any of these steps to work, is this frame. Second, your number one priority. So what is the first thing? What is the most important thing you should work on? And if you watch some of my other videos, you might already have a guess to what this is. And then third, what are the 3 disciplines that will fast track your growth? So what are the 3 different areas you should start working on that will really embody this main character energy, that will really get you results in your life? And finally, how to add fuel to the flame. How to get 10 times more growth than the people around you. And these are some tactics I got from different business leaders, a lot of these books that I've read. And so this will allow you to fast track your growth. So first, the frame you must adopt. Total responsibility. So if you've ever heard of Jocko Willink, he's like a Navy SEAL. He has a podcast. he's huge on this. In his book, he talks a lot about total responsibility, and I think it's something in the Navy SEALs and military that they really drill into their soldiers. So if you like are thinking about it, these Marines and people are going across the world. They have some of the highest physical disciplines in the world. And so if there's something we can take from them, we should probably adopt it. And so this means that you're no longer allowed to blame anyone or anything. Even if someone took out a knife and stabbed you, it's your fault. Even if someone stole from you, they robbed your house, it's your fault. Everything that happens is your fault. And if you're able to adopt this frame, then you will have control. If you are able to adopt this frame, if everything is your fault, everything is your responsibility, that means that you can take control of your life. That means you can control the inputs and make your own outputs. And if you're able to really embody this, really do this, and I know the first couple points of like someone just stabbed you, like is that really your fault? It seems a little bit delusional, but if you are able to still make that your fault, then you won't blame that guy. You won't live with any resentment towards the guy that hurt you. You won't live with resentment or hatred towards anyone, your parents, your friends. You're not putting any just blame on anyone else. You're only putting the blame on yourself, which allows you to take action, to actually change it. So the action step is that the next time you feel the need to blame something, even if it's completely delusional, like for some reason your plane got delayed, your plane got canceled, or you go and your teacher does something to you, they do something unfair in how they graded your assignment, take the blame, take the responsibility, and you'll see how much power that gives you to be able to take the next step, to be able to take an action. Next is your number one priority. So even if you have the responsibility, you have the ability to control your inputs, what is the first thing you should do if you want to become the main character? Become one with the present moment, fix your mental health. This isn't something you were expecting. I'm sure a lot of people weren't expecting in a video about becoming the main character. You probably want more tactics, more like, oh, like do these habits, do this first thing in the morning, and then you'll be able to get this result. But this is the true secret behind self-improvement. This is the true, I've been doing self-improvement for 4 years now, right? And those first 2-3 years, I didn't know about this as like a priority I should have. And only recently in the past year, when I really honed in on this, did I start getting more results in my life? Did I start really getting more happy and more accepting with myself? And so you need to fix your mental health as fast as possible. This is more important than you going to the gym, you getting a dream body, you getting any girls. This is the most important priority you should have in your life right now. First, set the goal of eliminating any stress, anxiety, and any negative states of minds. Any moment that you feel any feeling of negativity, a physiological response, which basically means you just feel just not okay with yourself, even if it's self-doubt, even if you think you deserve it in the moment, even if you think obviously I didn't do work all day today, so I'm feeling very anxious. If you can learn to just eliminate that state of mind, then you will feel so much more happy. And if you're coming from this place of happiness, you're coming from this place of peace, it is so much easier to do any of these good habits or any of the other tactics that you're going to learn from my videos, from other people's videos, anything that's going to improve your life. If you can do it from a place of peace, from happiness, you will be able to just do it so much better and be able to do it so much more consistently. And so you want to be your authentic, true self now. So what having anxiety, stress, these different states of minds does to you is that it takes away from what you are authentically. It takes away from what you are at your most true self, at what you are at your core. And so, for example, I would be talking to a girl, and if I felt any form of nervousness, if I felt kind of anxious, I was afraid that she wasn't going to like me before I was even going to go talk to her, before I even heard what she was going to say. If I was coming from that place of anxiety while I'm talking to her, I'd be more likely to, say something weird or talk really fast or really slow, when I'm talking to her, or be whispering. And then maybe that output of me talking in that way was the reason that she thought I was weird and didn't reply to my texts. And then for me, myself, I'm just confirming. I'm oh no, she didn't like me at all. It would confirm that belief I had in the first place of making me think that she didn't like me. You know what I mean? So if you were able to come from a place, though, it's like, no, like I'm already good. Like she's gonna like me. Like you're coming from that place of love, of positivity, and then you go into that conversation, you're gonna perform so much better because you already think that you deserve it. And so the ways that you can fix your mental health as fast as possible is to meditate and do gratitude journaling, and also to flex your attention muscle, which I'll get to in a second. So first of all, what is meditation? Meditation is so easy and it's so simple, and so many people overcomplicate this. What you want to do when you meditate is to sit down, set a timer, start with 5 minutes, close your eyes, and start breathing. As you inhale and exhale, you're going to start feeling in your body your breath. You're going to feel it in your nose, in your stomach. You're going to feel the air going in and out. You just want to literally put your focus onto that. You want to pour your attention onto your breath. Whether you feel it at your nostrils, whether you feel it in your stomach, just choose one point of your breath and start just putting your focus into it. As you start to do this, maybe 5 seconds in, 10 seconds in, you're going to randomly start thinking about something else. You're going to think about what you're going to eat later today. You're going to think about some work you have to do, some worry you have. When you feel that, whenever you recognize that you're having that thought, you just want to bring it back to the breath. Forgive yourself. Don't worry about it. Just bring it back to your breath. That is one repetition, one practice of you getting good at meditation and getting good at fixing your mental health, getting good at being present. If you can do it more and more, if you can get as many reps as possible of that little cycle of going to your breath, you will be able to fix your mental health and become present as fast as possible. This is how you fast track that. Gratitude journaling is also extremely important for this. If you can wake up every morning and write 3 to 10 points of gratitude, you'll be able to feel more positive. What gratitude really is you're practicing appreciating what you have in the moment. Too much when you want, when you want the girl, when you want money, you're thinking in the future. You're desiring something that you don't currently have. And if you're admitting to yourself that you don't have something, that you don't have something right now in the moment, that causes suffering. That's like a difference between something you don't have, between what you want to have and what you currently have. Sorry. Gratitude is appreciating what you currently have. So let's say that you write down a point and you're like, I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for the time that we just spent together at this cabin, at this, social experience we just had. If you say you're grateful for that and you start really thinking about the memory of it or thinking about your friends, you're going to start feeling kind of happy in the moment, right? And this is the most important part of gratitude that most people miss, is that they don't create an emotional experience. They don't really feel that positive. They just really quickly write down, oh, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that friend, I'm grateful for the family member. But you really need to start describing these people, describing the experience until you feel in your body the positive emotion. And that's what you're really practicing, is feeling that positive emotion. And if you can do this every single morning, you'll start your day from that positive place and you'll be anchored into the present moment. So the final thing is to flex your attention muscle as much as possible. So what we were talking about with the meditation was just focusing on your breath going in and out. And if you get used to that, then your body and brain will just be more into the present moment, right? Because it's so focused on the breath, less in your thoughts, less thinking about anything else. But when you're talking to people, when you're having a conversation with your friend, really try to focus on his eyes, really try to focus on what he's talking about. If you're talking to a girl, the exact same thing. Don't just go into your head, don't start thinking about things, don't get anxious about something. Really try to anchor your focus into wherever you're at right now. So if you're reading a book, it's the same thing. Even if you're watching something, if you're watching a movie, you're watching anything, don't go on your phone while you're watching the movie. Really try to focus yourself into the movie as much as possible. This is called flexing your attention muscle. And if you're able to do this throughout the day, you're almost able to get the benefits of meditation, but 24 hours a day, or 16 hours a day when you're awake. And this will fast track your progress in feeling the present moment. Always try to be focusing on something. So if you're outside going for a walk between places, Focus on your feet, the sensation of walking on the ground. Focus on the trees, watching nature. Focus on anything, because this is all flexing your attention muscle, and this will get you like these results as fast as possible into the present moment. So the action step for this is to take 10 deep breaths right now with the exhale longer than the inhale. So one secret hack here is that if you ever have an exhale longer than your inhale, so let's say you inhale for 5 seconds and then you exhale for 7 seconds, you will feel more peaceful. But if you ever need more energy in the moment, make your exhale shorter than your inhale. So inhale for 5 seconds, exhale for 3 seconds. Remember that quick thing, because it can be useful whenever you need more energy or you need to feel more peaceful. So what are the 3 disciplines you're going to work on? Now that you have the ability to focus and you're feeling very positive, now you can use these tactics. So the first one is to develop a physical discipline. So bodybuilding, powerlifting, martial arts, these are one of the most popular physical disciplines. I personally recommend bodybuilding if you have any form of body dysmorphia. So for me, I used to be obese. I used to be about 50 pounds heavier than I am right now. And so I developed a lot of body dysmorphia or hate for my body. And so bodybuilding and developing an aesthetic frame really helped me develop more self-love as I look in the mirror and I'm more proud of what I've achieved. If you don't come from that sort of background, then I've seen in some people that can get a little bit toxic, but I still recommend bodybuilding for you. But if you're really like not into it and you're really just disinterested into it and you've tried it before and it created body dysmorphia for you, then something like powerlifting or martial arts, where it's more about the sport of it, of more like lift as much as you can, or martial arts where you're really getting into the art of it, or just the actual sport of beating people, I think that can be very healthy as well. The important thing here is you're pushing your body to its limit on almost a daily basis. And so you'll get rewarded by the endorphins, which are basically these chemicals that get released. Like, you ever heard of runner's high? When you like run for a while, you work out really hard and you feel really good. These are from endorphins. And so you get rewarded by that, and it also just de-stresses your body. So having this physical discipline is great for being the main character, because you don't want to be a skinny, weak millionaire, right? Like, you don't want to get the dream business you have. You don't want to build the income that you want and then walk into a room and just be the weakest person there, like be able to just lose in a fight to anyone. You want to be strong. Like, this is the thing about being the main character, and especially being a leader to people around you, is you want to be healthy. You want to show people that you can be healthy. You don't want to just make money and be the richest person in the room, but you want to be able to lead people to cultivate health in their life, so that it's not just about wealth. It's about health and living a long, prosperous life. So the action step for this is to search for a gym or some sort of martial arts program nearby you, and then enroll in it immediately. You can find a really cheap gym if you have a Planet Fitness near you. That doesn't have as many of the free weights, but it'll be a good start. You can use the machines there and you can just start getting into it. Start researching on YouTube different people. I really recommend Jeff Nippard for bodybuilding and getting into, even powerlifting. Anything related to that, I recommend Jeff Nippard, because that's who I used when I started lifting 4 years ago. Also, you want to have a learning discipline. So you want to always have a book that you're going through, listening to podcasts from people you admire, and in general, you want to just always be learning new information. And one little thing here is that I use ChatGPT. This is something new that I discovered only in the past couple months, is that if you're ever reading a complicated book, so I have some recommendations at the bottom. Let's say you're reading Psycho-Cybernetics. I'd say the other two are more simple to read, but let's say you're reading Psycho-Cybernetics and you don't understand something. So there's a lot of information about self-image. You can go into ChatGPT, paste in the paragraph that you're trying to learn about, and ask it to explain the concept using examples that are more familiar to you. So if you play basketball, you can literally ask ChatGPT to explain this paragraph using examples related to basketball. This is so powerful, and I don't think a lot of people have tapped into this yet, but if you can start doing this now and get more used to using AI to help your learning process, then you can learn so much faster, and in the future, when it gets even better, when the AI gets smarter, you'll be able to just learn even faster and just be able to utilize it and grow much faster than other people. So you want to fall in love with the high of learning something new. So I think the school system really destroyed people's ability to like learning, because you have to listen to this authority and you have to choose subjects, or you have to learn subjects that you didn't get to choose, that some teacher, some curriculum put you into. And so I think for a lot of people, they build a resentment of this, and they're just trying to get grades and they're just trying to get by so that they can move on to starting a job or going on with their life. What you want to do is fall in love and like recondition yourself to like learning. Because if you're able to choose the subjects that you like and you're able to find the areas that you're more interested in, you'll find that you feel a high from learning. You'll feel a similar high that's the same as the gym, that's the same as video games, it's the same as watching a really entertaining video. You can get that same type of high from reading a book, from learning something new. And if you can get really addicted to that process of learning, of wanting to do more, you'll be fine. You'll figure out your passion, you'll figure out your career, as long as you can find that high of curiosity from the books you have to learn. And the best way to do that is to just expose yourself to different types of books. So I have 3 recommendations here. It's Atomic Habits, Psycho-Cybernetics, and The Way of the Superior Man, which I literally have right here. I've read this book like 10 times, I think, 10 or 11 times at this point. Highly recommend it. But Atomic Habits is one of the first books that most people read in this space, and it's for a reason. There's a lot of good information in there. The final discipline is the patience discipline. If you're getting better every single day, if you're reading these books, if you're in the gym, you're doing the meditation, the gratitude, you have all these positive habits, then time works for you. But if you're not doing these habits, if you're doing more of the bad habits and you're not learning, you're ruining your health, you're drinking, smoking, your life is going on this sort of downward trajectory, then obviously time doesn't work for you and you're going to be scared of the future. And so you want to develop a level of patience and being okay with time passing. You want to get used to doing the same routine every day, get used to reading every day, going to the gym every day, and being happy and fulfilled by that routine, which is easier said than done. But if you get better at the meditation and the gratitude and you get more into the present moment, you get more anchored into that, then this will become a lot easier for you. And so the final thing of this is you want to learn how to cultivate your dream 24 hours. So this is a great journaling exercise. Is you literally ask yourself, if I had all the money in the world, what would I do in a 24-hour period? What would I do in the morning, afternoon, night? Like, would you actually want to work? Like, would you want to just chill on a beach? Because this is something that I really only found out recently. Is like, I went to a beach like a week ago and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, this is going to feel the exact same. Even if I had $1 million in my bank account, even if I was a billionaire, this would feel the exact same, this beach experience. And I found myself wanting to work, wanting to learn, wanting to get that curiosity high. So this is something interesting for yourself that you can find out by journaling, by really trying to rethink what your dream 24 hours is if money was not a question, if you had all the money in the world. So the action step for this is to create 3 habits, and I'm just going to eliminate that. The action step for this is to journal your dream 24 hours. Ask yourself that question. What would you do if money wasn't a question? And I think the answers will be very interesting for you. So you should really delve into this, journal this, and ask yourself this every couple months as you're starting to learn more, read more, get more into these habits. So finally, how do you add fuel to the flame so you can grow 10 times faster than everyone else? This is something that is going to set you apart from most people you see around you, even if they're doing the same things, even if they're in the gym, even if they're reading. If you're able to do a dopamine detox, you'll be able to grow 10 times faster than them easily, even faster, because most people are just addicted to social media, addicted to these different entertainment devices. They're sitting down, they're trying to read a book, they're trying to do some work, and then they take out their phone, they text someone, they take out their phone and watch TikTok for 10 minutes. It's terrible. So you want to eliminate all sources of entertainment that are more interesting than your work. So if your work is reading right now, if your current, like what you're trying to get better at is learning about the gym, reading those books, you don't want to be having like a short form content in your life. You don't want to be watching YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, because that is just so much more interesting than your work. That's the tough truth of it, is that you will never have more fun like in the moment, or at least get as stimulated in the moment from reading and learning something new as you would watching short form content. So first, try a 24-hour dopamine detox. So that means no phone, no music, no stimulation, no social media, no YouTube, no drugs, no alcohol. 24 hours. I would even say no friends during this time, which I wouldn't normally recommend that in terms of other types of detoxes. But if you're just doing 24 hours and you're just trying to wipe all forms of stimulation for a bit, you might as well, you might as well just do that. And then after doing the 24-hour detox, you want to go on a long-term balanced one where you reintroduce some of the more positive habits. You can still watch educational videos like this during the day. And then in the nighttime, after you're done with work, after you're done with your routines, everything, you can watch entertainment. You can watch a TV show. You can watch, which I used to not recommend as much, but I'm starting to find that if you are doing this sort of like balanced dopamine detox on a long term, like you're doing it for months straight or even weeks, you'd be okay with letting in some things in the night. It's just more important that you don't wake up and start with stimulating activities, because that can make it really hard for you to be focused or get into your work. And you also want to have a vibrant social life. So keep friends in if you're doing a long-term dopamine detox. At least see people a couple times a week, or else you will go insane. We're humans, we're social creatures. You definitely need friends. And so the action step is to go on a 24-hour dopamine detox right after this video. Literally close out this video and just start this detox. I gave you the rules. You know exactly what you have to do. Just do it. So follow these steps and become the main character. Thanks so much for watching. If you got any value from this, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell, and watch this next video.